Hey everyone, welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm your host, Chade Arena. If I told you 5 years ago that Hannah Montana's dad was going to be putting out a country rap song with a rapper named Lil Nas X, you would have laughed in my face. Well, here we are, and it's one of the most popular songs going. And a country rap song might be the sign of a revolutionary new type of music, or the collapse of our society. Either way, I got this song on repeat, and it gave us here at Most Amazing Top 10 a little bit of inspiration for a list. So today I bring you Top 10 Scary Old Town Roads. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Also, follow Most Amazing Top 10 on Instagram and Facebook. It's a great way to get to know myself and the other Most Amazing Top 10 hosts a little bit better. And without taking any longer, let's get into it. Number 10, Passage de Gois in France. Why would you go to France? Because it's romantic and you can eat your body weight in cheese. And what would be more romantic than taking a scenic drive from the mainland over the ocean to a beautiful island? Oh my god, it sounds like the end of a rom-com starring Matthew McConaughey. Until you get stuck in the middle of the ocean. Le Passage de Gois is a lovely little road that is a connection between mainland France and the secluded island of Noirmoutier. It's a little over 4 clicks and it passes right over the ocean, and for whatever reason, they didn't build the road high enough to deal with the changing tides. So if you decide to make this journey at the wrong time of day, the ocean will sweep your car into the blue and you'll turn your romantic French honeymoon into you and your fiance yelling Wilson out of volleyball. To make the road sound even more pleasant, it's even dangerous to drive while the tide is down, because the ocean is constantly glazing the road in sea gunk, making it super slippery. So even if you make the drive at the right time, you still might hit some seaweed and spin out like Mario Kart. Number 9, the Zoji Pass in India. Have you ever driven over a bridge and been like, holy crap, we're really high up? But thank God there's guard railings and traffic lights and proper traffic markings on the road, and it's not on the side of the mountain, and one wrong turn won't lead to me tumbling to my death. Well, the Zoji Pass in India is all these things and more. The Zoji Pass in India is the second highest pass in the whole world. It sits at 3,528 meters of elevation. So if you fall off this road, it's enough to kill you like 3,000 times over. It's also extremely important because it connects the people of an isolated city called Ladakh to the rest of the world. Imagine if you live in Ladakh and you're like, I gotta catch a flight, so I gotta make this extremely dangerous journey across this mountain trail. At least if you can do that, you're probably not afraid of flying. Number 8, Dalton Highway, Alaska. If you grew up anywhere secluded with a harsh winter, then you probably know what it's like to take a long drive through snow-covered roads. Well, this is like that, but 1,000 times more. The Dalton Highway is in Alaska, and it starts right off the Elliott Highway and spans 667 kilometers. Most of the road is covered with ice year-round, and it's riddled with potholes. This road also passes through the middle of nowhere, so if your car breaks down along the way, you kind of have 2 options: freeze to death or get eaten by wolves. Also, there's winds along this road that are so strong they'll pick up rocks and throw them at your car, only increasing your chance of becoming some Wolverine's brunch. If you weren't convinced about how you should never drive along this long stretch of road, here's something else for you. The road ends in a place called Deadhorse, which is near the Arctic. I can only imagine this town got its name from back in the day when you would ride your horse up there, and soon after, your horse would die. You'll never catch me on this stretch of land, I bet it. I would sooner get into an Uber with the wrong license plate. Number 7, the Guilin Tunnel Road in China. This road is kind of a marvel of craftsmanship and necessity. The road is carved through a mountain in China by the people of the Bulyang village. They were cut off from the rest of the world, so they decided to blast their way through a mountain so they could get to the nearest Starbucks. What makes this road so dangerous is it's under constant construction, and because parts of the road actually pass through the mountain, there's always a chance that part of the tunnel could collapse on you and crush you to death. Number 6, the Tianmen Mountain Road in China. This one literally looks like a final track from Mario Kart. Just imagining all the twists and turns could give someone motion sickness. The Tianmen Road in China is something that looks like a rally car driver's wet dreams with 99 ultra tight turns on a very thin road. You can't even take your eyes off the road for a second because the lanes are so close and tight together that it would definitely lead to you smashing into some oncoming traffic. Not to mention the massive elevation change that you go through from bottom to top. There's an 1100 meter elevation change. How many times would you have to pop your ears? There are some protective barriers along the road, but with how tight and twisty everything is, and how high the mountain is, and how close you are to the side, it wouldn't take much for you and your car to take a one-way bungee jump off the side of the mountain. Number 5. Erie Highway, Australia. This road seems like it has all the makings of a perfectly safe road. There's no problem with potholes or any kind of maintenance. The road doesn't have a lot of twists and turns. It doesn't even cross over any sort of natural risk like a massive sandstorm or massive thunderstorm. But just like your parents telling you that you're going to Disney World and then they take you to the dentist, this road is full of deceit. The road stretches for 1,675 kilometers through one of the most remote areas of Australia. So if you encounter any sort of car trouble, I hope you brought loads of water and you know how to use a rattlesnake as a socket wrench, because it's going to be a while before anyone comes to help you. On top of that, the road is so straight and featureless that people often veer off the road into ditches or into oncoming traffic. There's so little going on that it lulls you to sleep and then you crunch into an oncoming pickup. This road bores you to death. So many people have met their gruesome end by numbing boredom that the road has been nicknamed Slaughter Valley. Number 4. North Yungas Road in Bolivia. I don't even know if you can call this one a road. It's more like a path or some open space someone just threw asphalt on 30 years ago. The road mostly hugs the mountainside of the North Yungas region in Bolivia. And with me just glossing over how dangerous the area is, with rebels and small wars constantly being waged in the area, the road is a complete mess with zero forms of safety precautions. Most of it isn't paved at all, and the parts that are paved have giant cracks and potholes in them. It's a normal occurrence for entire buses to roll over the road and tumble down into the jungle below. It's been given the nickname Death Road for good reason. There are crosses and grave markings all along the side of this strip symbolizing where people have met their end. Why are people still driving on a road after it's called Death Road? Number 3. Halsema Highway in the Philippines. The Philippines is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. Lush jungles, beautiful beaches, magnificent mountains. But if you want to see all the amazing scenery, it might cost you. And by that I mean you might die. The Halsema Highway in the Philippines goes up to one of the biggest tourist attractions in the country. The road going up, however, is not as nice to look at, as it's extremely narrow and there are constantly speeding tour buses rushing up and down the mountain. Head-on collision is commonplace on this road. At least that's all the problems. Well, that's all of your problems if you're traveling in the summer. If you try to go up there any other time of year, nature will make sure you suffer along the way. You could get hit by a dense fog, falling rocks, monsoon rains, mudslides, all of which could push your car off the road and send you falling down the 2,000-meter fall. Hey, but if you make it to the top, it's gonna look great for your Instagram. Number 2. Jalalabad, Kabul, Afghanistan. This one is kind of like Mad Max with no guns. The Jalalabad-Kabul road in Afghanistan passes over the Kabul Gorge and is at 600 meters of elevation. We've had roads much higher than this on this list already, but what makes this road so much more dangerous is the massive haul trucks that are constantly driving on the road for transportation. Because of this, drivers get extremely reckless and are constantly trying to pass these trucks on an extremely narrow road, a road that can barely fit 2 of these trucks side by side. So you have massive trucks zooming by, with people driving like maniacs on a little tiny road, all slapped on the side of the mountain where one wrong move could leave you tumbling into a gorge. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the road passes through Taliban controlled areas. So at the beginning when I said this is like Mad Max without the guns, I actually meant it's just like Mad Max. And number 1 on this list is the Karakoram Highway from China to Pakistan. Now we've got a massive international highway that passes through some of the harshest conditions you can come across. The Karakoram Highway is one of the most elevated paved international highways in the world. It maxes out at 4,693 meters. That's 15,397 feet, baby. The road is so high that many drivers crash because they start suffering from altitude sickness while they're behind the wheel. The road is so high up and the air is so thin that it's literally too thin to breathe. It's like, remember, put your hands at 10 and 2 and always keep your oxygen mask on. The road also passes through several mountains and canyons with brutal conditions. Everything from sandstorms, blizzards to floods. It's like living in the movie 2012 all packed into a family road trip. And if that was enough, because the road is so long and passes through so many deserted areas, bandits will wait for you to come by so they can jack your car. Okay, I lied before. This road is like Mad Max. Well everyone, that is our list. Let me know in the comments what you thought the scariest road was and if you've ever driven on an extremely scary road. Also, I just watched the music video for Old Town Road and it's hilarious. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Also, start following Most Amazing Top 10 on Facebook and Instagram because it's a great way to get to know myself and the other Most Amazing Top 10 hosts. Until next time, I've been Shade Arena, and I'm gonna go jump into an Uber. Bye.